do that. Great. So, guys, welcome to the More Deals Mastermind. I'm your host, Robert Weichelt, with my co-host, Kathy Ryan. Kathy, how are you today?
I'm amazing. I am doing really good, all fired up.
You know what? That's what it's all about. I guess you know what? Getting fired up is kind of the name of the game. I know you and I, Kathy, talk about this all the time. Just getting ready to go prospect, FISBOs and expireds. You got to get excited. You gotta play the song. I use Imagine Dragons. Whatever it takes is my pump up song when I get ready to prospect. And I know, Kathy, you're out there rocking as well, and I know it. So welcome to the call, everybody. We've got a special uh, co-host guest, Norm Mead, on the call as well. Norm, welcome to the call today.
Hey, Robert, thanks so much. Good to see you guys again. Hi, Kathy.
Hi there, Norm.
Yeah,
Good
so
to see
so
you too.
we've been having some really good conversations these past few weeks. Kathy, Norm, and I have been colleagues for a lot of years, and we've been
hmm
collaborating in lots of different areas, and we're just so blessed to be able to circle back to our Friday call. And it's there, guys. There's no agenda. It's just what do you got going on in your business, John? What's happening? I know you unmuted. It's that kind of stuff. So, with that said, let's get the party started. Kathy, what kind of opening remarks, Kathy Ryan? What kind of opening remarks would you like to start with today's call?
Well, you know, real estate, as long as I've been in real estate, you can count on one thing: the market changes. And we are in a shift.
Hmm.
So these meetings, and we're all collaborating and we're all talking with each other and all of that, is that we can share things that work and don't work in
Yeah,
a changing market and be prepared for the next market. It isn't a bad market, it's not a good market, it's just different.
it's a market. So that's
It's a market.
well said, Kathy. Norm, I'm going to bring it to you with your world's wisdom. What do you want to share with the audience before we kind of go into a Q&A mastermind?
Well, yeah, the market is changing. It is a market. There isn't any doubt about it. And I think one of the things that I've done over the years is help agents learn how to adapt and learn how to set goals so that they can achieve what they really want. So I am bringing back my Express Success program, which is a version of the 12-week year. And we're going to start kicking that off in September. And we're going to get people set up and ready to rock and roll and be able to hit 2016 and have all of their goals set because and you guys have all heard this before, we all generally spend more time planning our vacation than we do our life. And one of the things that we want to do is we want to figure out what is the goal that you really want and teach you how to set the goal because most people don't even know what a goal is. They come to me and they say, well, I want to sell more real estate. Well, that's a great idea, but that's not a goal. So we want to teach you how to sell more real estate and teach you how to guide yourself through that and get yourself an accountability partner and find out how to really make it happen one little step at a time because that's all it takes, one little step at a time. So we got a great rest of this year coming and 2027 is going to be fantastic.
You know what?
Absolutely. And I can vouch for that because I've been through Norm's 12-week program. And my productivity when I was hyper focused went through the roof.
Amazing how that works, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, it
Yep.
works it
Kathy
works if
was
you do.
Kathy was scoring 85s and 90s all the time. She was doing awesome. I
Not
still
bad.
have your records, dear.
Well, I tell you, Kathy's a student of the game. There's no doubt, and I think that's important to think about. Whether you're brand new in the business or you've been in it for 40 years, like I have, there's so many things you can learn every single day. I was talking
Mhm.
to a mentee last night, and I was trying to remember why I'm working with mentees. Somebody that literally they've got their license like 4 minutes ago. The only thing they know in real estate is what they learned to take their test, and I'm so there's a big learning curve in real estate, and I keep asking myself, why do I work with mentees? Because number one, I dig it, so let's be clear about that, but it keeps me fresh. And to Norm's point, we are staying on top of what's happening. Kathy is teaching me so much when it comes to AI and using their CRM and using the technology and the AI studios and all these really cool systems to minimize the amount of time I'm working in my business. So I think that the biggest thing is we need to do is these masterminds are just that. There's no
Mhm.
agenda. There's no we want this to be a place that you can come, learn, build, grow. A lot of times, Kathy, and you and I talk about this all the time. A lot of times, agents that come to these calls, whether you're new in the business or you've been in it forever, you're always going to pick something up, and there's going to be things you
Right.
don't know until you know, because it's just you don't know it. So I think the biggest thing is come with your ideas, what's working, what's not working, so we can avoid the pitfalls of what's not working. Our goal is to share both sides of that coin. This isn't just all about wins, it's about what losses have you seen, what didn't work last week, and what in-flight adjustments are you making to have a
Hmm.
successful week, finish up to 26 strong, and just crush the 27 years. So, Kathy, any thoughts on that?
Well, a perfect example of that was, you know, before the housing crisis, before 2008, I worked expireds exclusively. I That was my bread and butter, and I built my business on that. Well, along comes 2008, the housing market crash. I had to pivot, started doing short sales. And after that market was gone, it's like, okay, now I'm going back to the expired market again. But my marketing, what I was doing before, didn't work like it had before. I had to find a new way to work the expireds. So no matter how long you've been in the business, you can always learn something. And that's what we're here for.
I agree. You know what? FISBOs and expireds are a special breed. We all can admit that. FISBO, they just simply don't want to pay commission and they think they could do it on their own. We show them a better way. That's how you work with FISBOs. Expireds already put their hand up, said, hey, I'm willing to commit to a long-term contract at the highest price you can possibly think of, have no results, be disappointed, and hopefully you get a chance to come back and say, let's do it the right way this time. How's that sound? So expireds and FISBOs, man, they have their hands up, guys. So great,
Mhm.
great, great ad there, Kathy. So let's do this. Let's open it up to a Q&A, and then we'll certainly take this one question at a time. What do we got? Who's working on something that needs some help? This is the participation part, so we'll need to have you probably unmute if you want to talk. And who's working on something? Who's got questions? Who's prospecting? I'd like to know who is prospecting. Put it in the chat box.
Hey, Robert, just so Roseanne, one of my agents, was on last week, and Roseanne used the script that we developed for going after expireds and FISBOs, and she didn't work a lot. She got about 17 or 18 phone calls in. She has two appointments. One of them is today, and she's presenting the 14-day offer, and the other one is tomorrow on Saturday. Roseanne is not on today because she's in Massachusetts and she's absolutely at the appointment as we speak.
Oh my gosh, that is so
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That falls into the old "it works if you do" scenario. That's a simple math question. So let me just start the conversation off. You have to prospect every single day for 90 minutes a day. That means calling, texting, emailing, sending smoke signals. It doesn't matter how you're reaching out to the lowest hanging fruit, FISBO and expired. Now, that you can reach out to any seller, but you probably want to reach out to the seller that has their hand up first. If somebody came to you, you had two people call you from your database, people that you've known forever. One calls you, says, I want to sell my home today. The other one calls you, says, I want to sell my home next year. Which one are you calling back first? That's what the now business does. You obviously want to work in the now space. FISBOs, expireds, pre-foreclosures with the right scripts are the easiest seller to work with. They are telling us, hello world, I need help. I would like
Right.
you to know that I need help. That's what that is. That's a cry for help, especially when you're going FISBO and their phone's blowing up. About 80% of the calls they're getting are all from agents. So they're getting down and like, oh my God, every time an agent calls, they just want to scream. If you
Hmm.
can drop that anxiety wall down a little bit and have a conversation about their home, present them cash offers. Should the cash offers not be quite the number they're looking for, know how to pivot, Kathy, right? How to pivot to get the listing. I did a study, 72 listing study. I don't know why it was that number. It's just that's what it worked out to be. Every single one of them got a cash offers. When it went online to the 14-day home offers platform, typed in the address, literally 3 to 5 seconds, cash offers right there. So now I have a conversation with people. But I know
Right.
that they don't want that low offer, Kathy. They want the highest and best price. They all think they want cash offer until you unfortunately tell them what those cash offers entail. So we just got
And
to be sure.
that brings up the point. And I suggest that you guys, if you weren't on Wednesday's call with Joe Peterson,
Oh,
and,
it was
and I
inspiring.
to go to the YouTube channel and watch it, because the main thing is a lot of agents make the mistake. Oh, I'm going to go get a fast sale with these cash offers. No, that's not what they're there for. Yes, a very small percentage, and I mean very small, will take the cash offer because of their situation. But most of them will list with you. I have presented hundreds of cash offers to sellers, and not one of them took it. And I've been working the cash offers angle of starting the conversation now for 5 years.
You
And
know,
not one of them has taken it
yeah,
because
yeah,
I've showed them a better way to list.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's working the numbers, and the best way to start the conversation with an expired or for sale by owner is with a cash offer.
Absolutely. And Kathy, those 72, that study I did, not one of them went with the
Right.
cash offer. Not one. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Kathy, the numbers Joe was talking about is just around 90% of the people do
Yeah.
not go with the cash offer. And of those 10%, a very small number actually close. Because here's what cash offers do, guys. And I'm not bagging on the cash offers, but they give you a number. And then when they finalize it, oh, now that I've seen the home, then they bring that number down. That's what every buyer does, whether it's a cash offer or a traditional buyer just wanting to buy the home blindly, and they submit an offer and then they see it and, oh, now that I've seen the property, we already know the results. We already have the answers to the test. It's like a crystal ball. We know the sellers don't want this, but they want to see it so they can pivot and see what's available, other options. It's just a great way to go. And remember, I think Kathy, we talked about this morning. There's people doing the 14-day home offers all over the country. Sure, markets vary, but the process doesn't. If you do it properly, you take the value of the home and make sure that you and the seller are in agreement with that price. For example, if they want $1 million and it's worth 850, we've got a little work to do first. Let's get in the realistic realm. The biggest thing I see with agents doing is they'll say, well, you know what? I need to get a listing. So hopefully we can get that listed at a million, knowing that's worth 850. We'll see if I can get some traffic. Maybe I can get some buyers out of it. What you're doing is you're setting the seller up for failure and yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Don't take listings that are overpriced, because price is the leading indicator on the success. Sure, people have different strategies like what we use on pricing, but if it's listed too high, no one's going to come. And you're not going to have a chance to get the highest and best price. So you just got to understand how it works.
You can spend $1 million in advertising on an overpriced listing and it still won't sell.
Yeah, that's called, all you're doing is repopulating the expired pool by taking overpriced listings. So
Exactly.
let's open it up. John, you always have some good questions, brother. What questions are you working on over there? I don't mean to call you on the spot there, but what questions are you working over there in Denver, Colorado? John, how are you?
Good.
Oh, good.
Uh,
All right.
my questions are just stuff I have to work through, videos and things and whatever on the Leads Plus to figure out how
My
to
plus leads.
work it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can see the list of leads, but it's giving me too much, so got to narrow that down. And I got to figure out how I can use it with the dialer.
You know who to ask about how that works? The
Who?
wonderful people at My Plus Leads. They are customer
Mhm.
service off the hook. They'll
Yeah.
teach
Okay.
you, they'll walk you through that whole process. Some people call, text, email. Some people set it up to their CRM, but I find that most agents that are prospecting are picking up the phone and having a conversation. I'm finding the best results are from the one-on-one. Hi, this is Robert calling about your home at 123 Main Street. Is it still available? That's a simple yes or no, right? And the
Right.
conversation gets started best. But certainly use the CRM. But as far as dialing, I like dialers because that's forced. You can't just go, oh, you know what? I'm going to let creative avoidance get in the way, because it's calling the next number.
Yeah.
That's a great way to go. John, talk to My Plus Leads. Those folks they're absolutely awesome and help you out.
Hey,
Perfect.
Robert, and I have a friend who is a coach also. His name is Vincent St. Louis, and he has
That's
a
a cool
beautiful
name.
philosophy. I know, I love it. And Vincent had, and as a matter of fact, I had a T-shirt made that says "The Vincent Effect" because it's so wonderful. Because what it does, it takes all of that apprehension away from making phone calls. He says,
Uh-huh.
I sit down with a list that's already been populated, and I start making phone calls. I don't put any notes into my CRM. I don't do anything other than set appointments. And
Yeah.
then I make the little notes on that little notepad. And as a matter of fact, I've gone to using a whiteboard because it's so much easier to do. And then when I'm done with my 90 minutes, as you're talking about, and as I said before, I use 28-minute burst because I'm riddled with ADD and I have to stop. But then I go back in and do another one. And then I don't have to think about anything else. I don't have to think about that darn CRM. I don't have to think about anything except the next phone call. And I don't like a dialer. I like to dial it myself. It just happens to work out better.
Mhm.
And Vincent St. Louis does it exactly the same way. And
Yeah.
it really, really makes a big difference on how many calls you can get through.
Well, the
Absolutely.
point
No,
is, is,
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
is find what works for you. I mean, I get nervous with the dialer too, because it's like, oh, I got to get to the next call and it makes me rush. But if I use my CRM and I go to the contact, I can click a button and it will connect to my phone and make the call. And so after I'm done with that call, it automatically makes the note in in
Yep.
that contact that I called them. So that's my system. And then I'll text as well. So and I can text right through the system, and I'm not going to get a spam and lose my ability to do
Yep.
things from my phone.
Be
It's
careful
my
with that.
personal number.
Kathy brought up an important thing to remember is if you're text spamming people, you will go to jail. And
Yep.
that's iPhone jail, by the way, for those of you paying attention. That's a real thing. But here's the thing that I'm taking from both what Norm and Kathy just said. It works if you do, meaning do what works for you, knowing that the only goal in life when prospecting is to schedule the appointment. I do
Mhm.
all my listings via Zoom, just to be very clear. A guy across the street would call me up and say, I want to sell my house. I go, great, let's jump on Zoom. It's like that. My point is, prospecting is just to schedule the appointment. If it's available, if they're accepting offers, when can we get on a quick Zoom call to go over your property in more detail? You need to do at least the consultation because these FSBOs and expireds, there's a reason they're overpriced. Number one, the FSBOs think that's how you're supposed to do it, and the expireds, they're obviously overpriced because that's why usually they're expired. So you got to find a system, whether it's calling, texting, emailing, like I mentioned before, sending smoke signals, doesn't matter. You need to schedule the appointment. That's the number one takeaway for me, and it works if you do it. So,
And
yeah,
time block your prospecting. And it should be the very first thing you do every day. That way you're done with it
it's
and
also
you don't
highest
get
energy.
distracted throughout the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, high energy level. You got to figure out when your high energy is. And usually, Kathy, it's the morning is when I'm most fired up. It's the towards
Mhm.
the day, later on in the afternoon where I'm going, okay, maybe I need a second cup of coffee. But I tell you what, I put it all out on the field today and I'm going in strong. So, John, go ahead. What do you got, brother?
Okay, I am definitely concerned about something you brought up. One of you folks brought up is like, okay, just get on the phone, dial the phone. Uh, Perfect. Okay, so what happens? Like you mentioned that you could get flagged as spam.
Usually,
I
when
don't
you're
want my
mass
phone that I
texting,
use all day long to get flagged as spam. That would suck.
yeah, I would recommend is you have a business phone and a personal phone. I like a business phone that I do all my prospecting on. Where I find the spamming problems come in is when you blast text people without the proper stop to,
Well,
unsubscribe.
even phone numbers are getting marked as spam.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, John. What CRM are you using?
High level.
Okay. And go high level. You can buy a number.
I
Get
have
a
that.
Did you get A2P approval?
I do.
Okay. So when you go into your contact and up at the top, well, here, I'll show you. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me
Why
grab
Kathy's sharing her screen. This is how we learn. This is how we build. This is how we grow. Put your questions in the chat if you're too shy to bring it up yourself, but we certainly want to make sure we cover everyone's questions today.
So I'd like to get up to speed on that for sure, but think I think I can just probably take the My Plus leads and every day drop them, and I can probably make them automate that.
You
But
can.
drop it
You
into the
can.
CRM, and then I can use my phone number through there. I
Yeah.
just don't know how to do it yet. I know that's
Well,
possible.
yeah, they'll walk you through it. There's an what is it?
Toll free?
No,
API.
API key,
Okay.
an API key from
Yeah.
yeah, from My Plus Leads, and it will connect to your Go High Level. So, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Okay. So, basically, I'm in a contact, which happens to be mine. Up here, you can voice call here, or you can download Lead Connector on your phone, and you just go to that I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'll stop sharing my screen. So
Yeah, I'm
you just go
familiar
to,
with Lead Connector. That's simple to use to call people.
right. So you just go to your contacts, you pick one. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
put it in front of your face. There it is.
Yeah. So you can see that little phone right there.
Yeah.
So you call from there, and it calls from your Go High Level phone number, not your personal number. And that's how you stay out of spam jail.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I will say also, calling people and calling the no call list.
Yeah,
If
don't do
anybody's making any amount of phone calls, it's going to happen. You're going to call somebody. I've called someone, and for the most part, if you're just polite, there's no big deal. I have never been flagged at all. Not
I
saying
haven't
I'm saying
either.
you do what you do, but I'm telling you that I don't pay attention to it. I make the phone call and then apologize. I'm one of those guys that would rather ask forgiveness and permission.
Yeah,
And I've been doing that.
sometimes you accidentally call one that happens. That then what Norm said is huge. So that's where you get your complaint is when you argue with them.
And if in fact they're for sale by owner, guess what? Their number's out there and they're asking people to
Yeah,
call them.
yeah.
Right.
So just
Right.
back out gracefully. So that's good. Thank you, Norm, for adding that. John, did that get your questions answered?
Yes.
Good, good,
Thank you.
good. Who else? What else? What else we guys got? I put some links in the chat. We were talking about My Plus Leads. If you want to know what that is, there's a 14-day free trial. FSBO's expireds and pre-foreclosures is what I use it for. Norm brought up something super important about prospecting. Creative avoidance is a serious condition for most agents. And before they get prospecting, they go, oh, well, I'm going to go take the dog out before I prospect. That's legitimate. You can justify that. Okay, now I'm ready to prospect. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go fill my water glass before I prospect. And then, oh my God, I drink so much water. I'm going to go to the bathroom before I prospect. All that creative avoidance is something we tell ourselves to stop us from doing what we think is going to be a painful process. If you have the right scripts and you're calling the right folks, you're going in the right direction. Those people need you. It's when you prospect people that have no idea who you are and no idea why you're calling and have no interest in buying or selling ever. We want to make sure we're calling the lowest hanging fruit, the sellers with their hands up. So FSBOs and expireds, I'll go back to that every single time. Those are your lowest hanging fruit sellers. Have conversations. It is simple as even if you don't want My Plus Leads, even though it's a 14-day free trial, one thing I would recommend is don't sign up for it unless you're ready to start prospecting. Because what happens is once you get ready, 14 days is up and now you're paying for it. Use the 14-day, go in there and you call those, reach out to them, have a conversation. Ask me if you want the scripts, I'll give them to you. I don't care. I want to help you. I want you to have success because it's all about scheduling the appointment. Right, Kathy?
Mhm. Right. It is. So the system that I use is ProEdge marketing system. It is Go High Level based. There is a lot of AI built into that where you can build out AI assistants to not only have conversations in text or email, respond to them, but also they will call, they will answer the phone, they will set appointments for you. It's all on how you train them. This is such a powerful, powerful system. So if you're interested in that, reach out to me. There's a link there if you want to find out more about it. And I'll also put my phone number in the chat.
You know, Kathy, I just signed up for ProEdge through that exact link that you put up there. There's a lot of moving parts, and I know Kathy has been so gracious in walking me through it. But I can tell you this, guys, it's like building the best, the fastest race car on the planet. You just got to learn how to drive it. That's all. Once you learn how to drive it, then it's automated. You have a full-time assistant. It works when you're not. I encourage you to at least take it for a test drive. So Kathy, thank you for offering that option.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys, if we're not automated, we're pulling our hair out. Trust me, we don't want that. So John, you got a question? I see your hand up. And you guys,
I do.
I'll get to you guys as you come in. So put your hands up. Let's ask some questions. John, take it away. What do you got?
Okay, I've got some quick questions about the basic script that you have.
For calling
Or
FSBO's expired pre-foreclosure?
yes, sir.
Okay, go
Yep.
ahead.
Yep. So when you're calling folks, how close to that very abbreviated script do you actually end up?
Let's role play, John, shall we?
Sure.
So you want me to be the seller or the agent?
You be the agent.
Okay, go ahead. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Yes, hi, John. My name is Robert. I'm calling about your property at 123 Main Street. Is it still available?
No, it's not. It expired off the market.
Oh, so it expired now. Do you have intention of putting it back on the market?
Not right now. I'm just gonna wait and see and think about what the heck happened.
Okay, I would love to maybe sit down with you and maybe discuss what happened. I'd be more than happy to give you a diagnostic. Here's the thing.
Oh, geez, I've got like 1,000 agents calling me right
Oh,
now.
that's great. So let me ask you this. If I was to bring you an offer at a price that's acceptable to you, are you willing to review it?
Sure.
Great. When's the best time for you and I to jump on a quick Zoom call to go over your property in more detail?
Uh, like I said, I have 1,000 agents calling me. Like,
Oh yeah, I
I,
understand, but I'm not, only thing I need to know is more about your home so I can prepare multiple offers if you don't mind.
really?
Yes. I have
Well,
some time today at 4, or is 4:30 better for you?
I've got some time at 4:30.
Great. I'll get your email. I'll send you an invitation. Boom, meeting set.
Okay,
What I
so
did
you
is
very much stick with it.
you've took it off and say, no, it's not available. Most agents would said, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you plan on selling it in the near future? Do you plan on putting it back on the market? Meaning exactly what you said. No, I'm in the process of regrouping and will more than likely reach out to somebody to sell it when I'm ready.
Mhm.
Well, fantastic. I would love to sit down with you and go over what did work or what didn't work. Sometimes people like that. You weren't biting, so I went right into great. Well, let me ask you this. If I was to bring you an offer at a price that was acceptable, are you willing to at least review that? Because I know I can go to cash offers right now. I got an appointment. I'm going to show them the cash offers and go, John, this is what the cash offers are looking like in your home. And we've already determined on our meeting that we are setting your goal price. Now, if your goal price is way out of line, that's we need to do is we need to talk about that first. And you and I have done that for other sellers already. We talk
Mhm.
about the price first. If they qualify to see what I can do for them, we have to come to a price agreement or at least some reality before we move forward. Get the appointment. I have 4 o'clock today, or is 4:30 better for you? Don't go, I've got a 4, I've got a 5, I got a 6. Like, here are two options. Which one works best? Stick to the script. And when you go off, answer the question and then get back on script. Because
So we've
it's
talked
super simple.
about that with the 15% discounted starting price, right?
Yeah, it's
That
strategically priced below market. Yes.
that we probably have room for a little bit of slop in there if they're unrealistic by that much.
Well, that's why I
We're
say
probably
it
get
doesn't need to be a bullseye target. It just needs to be in the realistic range. Like if it's 1 million they want and it's 850 it's worth, we got a little work to do. Now, if there's 850 and they want 9, guess what? We're going to give them the best chance to arrive at that number. But if they want 1 million and they're digging their heels in with, well, I don't need to sell. If I get my price, then maybe I will nonsense. Well, then guess what? Have a nice day. I wish you tons of success. I mean, you don't give up, you show them data. You think your home's worth 1 million. I do this every day for a living. I'm paid to do this. And this is what I think your home is worth in today's market. Do you want to keep expiring at that high price or do you want to get your home sold? Is the message we need to convey. Make sense?
Yep.
And you should role play. You should find people to role play with. Hey, be a nice seller, be a medium seller, be a total jerk. I've noticed that the sellers that are total jerks are the easiest ones to work with. They're just agitated. They have that stress wall. They ever walk on a car lot and said, you walking in, you got 4 people jumping on you. The first thing you say is, no, I'm just looking. It's a defense mechanism. Sellers use it too. Once you
Mhm.
break that wall down, have a conversation. I just need to know about your home, and who better than the seller to tell me about it? I don't want to come waste your time and view the home. Let's just have a conversation. We'll walk through your Zillow profile and we'll get to know your property a little better. That's kind of all we're trying to do here. Plus, you're also weeding out the sellers that are digging their heels in on a price that's substantially overpriced. Michelle, what questions do you have, Michelle?
Hello. I've been wanting to get started in this for the all of the summer, but I've been out of town quite a bit. But I'm digging in now, and I wanted to ask Kathy. I know she's been very familiar with the ProEdge CRM. Have you used the 14-day workflow that Smarty's put in there for the 14-day solution?
No, because I have been out recovering from the knee surgery. I'm just
Mhm.
now getting back to work.
I have.
So Robert
how's it
has.
going?
I'm the one that introduced Smarty to that system. That's what
Oh,
we
I
do.
know. I know.
And so yes, I have Kathy, I'm gonna share my screen. Is that cool?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got some good stuff here. Oh, I can't wait. I love
I
this.
just turned it on today and I'm really shocked.
It's awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Here's I'm sharing my screen. To your point, Michelle, this is 10012 White Pine. Kathy, can you see White Pine?
No, we just see your
Oh my goodness.
background.
Look at me. Let me hold on a second. Let me do this the right way. Kathy's the techie in the group, just so we're clear. I'm the platform guy, and Kathy's she runs a tight ship. Okay, here you should see it now. Got
There we
it?
go.
There it
Okay,
is.
good. So there's a 10012 White Pine. This was through the 14-day home offers platform. We had 255 registered guests to this property. That's huge. I've got all their information, so we're clear. Then you have the property DNA. Then your offer window, since it closed, the offers window closed last Wednesday. We went under contract last Friday. We'd finished all of our inspections yesterday. We're closing next week. But what I want to point out to you is the offer history. Look at that offer history. We started down here, strategic pricing strategies, or that's what drives the traffic. And Kathy, if we have time, I'll show them your photo of your open house because it just blows my mind. 21 verified offers. These are offers that have proof of funds, pre-approval, fully vetted. I have a couple of offers in there that did not provide me proof of funds and pre-approval, and guess what? They're not reflected in this verified offers because they submitted their offer, and then once they saw where the price was, they decided not to follow up, and that's okay. But guess what? We started at 688.5, which in this case represented 15% below our price that the home is worth, not what the price the seller wants, the price that it's worth that you and the seller agree to. Then we take it strategically down from there. Big mistake most people make is they take it from the seller's goal price. Let's say it's 1 million and you price it 15% below, which is 850. and it's only worth 850, you're not doing anything. You're not moving the needle. It's not making it exciting to come see that home. It's like, oh, just another listing that's priced at market. So you can see all the offers come in, and it tells you when they came in. Again, this one window closed last week, but I'm giving you this as an example. Took it from 688 all the way to 755. And Kathy, the best part, this is the net offer. You put in your cash offers in here, you put in your traditional offers, and you let those offers rise all the way to the top. Many times the institutional buyers are the ones getting the party started and elevating those buyers up to its highest point. Very rarely will an institutional buyer end up winning a kind of platform like this, because this drives the highest and best net offer to the seller. So you can see the net offer is what we're looking for. This one ended up selling because it's transparent. It ended up selling for an additional, I don't know, like $6,000 once the buyer actually submitted their purchase contract, proof of funds, pre-approval. They wanted to secure their position, and we got the seller another $6,000+. That's what it's all about, getting the seller the absolute maximum for their home. That's our job.
What
And
was your target goal for this one?
the target goal for this one was, I believe, 725, I think, on this one, because we have a bunch of
Nice.
lower offers, but yeah, they ended up getting quite a bit more for the home. So the sellers were very, very excited. I had another one recently that sold for $38,000 higher. Had another one for an asset manager of mine. I sold her personal residence. We got her another 75 grand than what she thought it was. And she prices homes every day. And I happen to agree with her. I think, yeah, that's a great price. We got $75,000 more. So the process, because it's transparent, it lets people take it to its absolute highest point possible. This is the highest market value. So anyway, thanks for letting me share, Kathy. To answer Michelle's question, yes, we've had great success
Mhm.
with the platform, the 14-day process right here, lifetime.
Yeah, and I
Actually, I was
used it.
asking. Oh, go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah, I had used it before my surgery, and yeah, it works well. But were you talking about the automation that Smarty set up?
Yes, the automation he set up after Robert came on the call, and I just actually activated it today, and oh my gosh.
I have to get with Smarty because I just went in there and he didn't put it in my system, so I haven't been using it
Oh
yet.
yeah, I just got back in town and I said, you know what? Let me load in some expires and FISBOs, and I loaded in some today, and I've gotten great response. So I was just wondering if anyone had used the workflow
Yeah.
that's loaded in the CRM.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely jump on Smarty's call to get some of that updates. But yeah, we've got a lot of a couple Smarty folks on here. We've got some 14-day users, so we've got a mixed bag of greatness in here.
Mhm.
What other questions, Michelle?
Well, one question I do have, one of the responses was they're going back and forth with the bots, with the automation, and one guy is insistent that he doesn't want to hop on a Zoom. So, how do you handle in your situation, since you usually manage your listing appointments through Zoom? How do you handle sellers who are insistent to only take a call?
I can tell you what I can do. I would just take a phone call.
Yeah,
Great.
that's what I told him. I was just
Great.
wondering what
Let's just
your.
do this. But no, I take a phone call so I can set up the Zoom call, because right now they're talking to a bot. They've got a
Mhm.
link from a bot.
Mhm.
They know it. So what needs to happen is, great. When's the best time to call you?
Okay.
And I
Mhm.
call them at that time, and then I schedule the appointment, having a conversation, because there's a lot of stuff going around. And I do listings all over the country, and I'm seeing it more and more where people are trying to set up Zoom calls to go over your listing, and it's a scam. So there's some sellers out
Oh.
there that are reluctant on setting up Zoom calls. Trust me, that's my mainstay of business. So there's an extra step that needs to go in there. Should somebody have a concern, fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and give you a call. What's the best time?
Okay. Mhm.
Today at 4 is 4:30 better. Set them to what works for you. Treat it like an appointment, but it's just the one step that needs to have and needs to happen before you actually schedule the Zoom. Once they're comfortable having a conversation with you, then we need to do the Zoom, because the presentation itself is visual. If I showed you this visually you get it, but if I try to explain this over the phone, you can't see it.
Mhm.
So
What
it's
I would do, Michelle, is I would go in and take that language out of your bot, the knowledge, the instructions, and just have them, have the bot get them to get you on the phone.
Okay.
And
But
then you set the appointment. Don't have on that system, don't have the bot try to make the appointment.
Got it. Okay.
and you know what, Kathy, one other thing to that brainstorm is you got to track and measure that what kind of response. If you have one person that has a problem with it out of 500, I would probably not redo your whole platform, because if you're having success people scheduling appointments, and the ones
Yes,
that do not want to do a Zoom, no problem. What's the best time for me to call you personally? You got to track and measure. But if you're getting a very high percentage of people going, I'm not setting the Zoom, no
Oh,
way,
it's
I'll
just
never do
one.
it.
I had 3 that were okay with the bot setting the
Okay,
appointment,
so
and
look at
then the
those
one
numbers.
guy.
Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, like Robert said, I would leave it that way.
Just tracking. Yeah.
But then add to the instructions for the bot. If they're not willing to get on a Zoom, okay, no problem. What would be a great time for a phone call?
Yep.
4 o'clock or 4:30?
Okay.
Yep.
I love that you can go in there and modify the bot's conversation.
Oh yeah,
With the
absolutely.
sellers. Yeah.
You have to train them. They're employees. They're just like humans. Sometimes they don't do what you want, and you have to go and tell them, no, I don't want it done this way. Do
Absolutely.
this way.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Michelle, thank you so much. And
Thank
please,
you.
we'll be here for a little bit longer. Keep those questions coming, guys. Celeste, I see you're on. Linda, welcome to the call. John, any questions? I see Garland on. He's not showing his smiling face with his meta glasses, but he's on. I see him. He's been dealing with some ups and downs and all arounds of learning a process. I saw Ted there in Kathy's screen. That was, hi, Ted.
Yeah, he's a ghost.
Yeah. So what other
I
questions
moved.
we got? Let's go. Let's hammer some questions out, because we got we got to go prospect.
Hey, Linda just did her first 14-day deal with me. Linda, I want to open up your microphone and give us any comments that you might have on the success, where we went and what you thought of it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. The client really liked it. We did our open house and had a lot of leads from that. So we had 32 that actually registered through the site for the open house, and then we went through that and got a lot of leads for that, but had some little mishaps too, though, because we had one offer and then they ended up backing out. So we're still trying to find a buyer for that house.
How many offers did you get through the platform?
Yeah, so
30.
through the platform, we got 4 offers through the platform. I'll
4
kind
offers.
of pick up. We had one that we thought was a really good offer. Unfortunately, they didn't read the seller's disclosure, and which is the one I was talking to you about last week, Robert. And I'm putting that into my system now, that I'm going to require the seller's disclosure to be initialed by the buyers before as one of the documents that I need them to put in for the final numbers.
Yep.
One of the great things I got to say about the 14-day program, the way we've got it set up now, is that we had 32. Is that correct, Linda? That registered? Yeah. So we had, of the 32, that was only 32 that actually finished the registration. But we had some 60 that actually downloaded it but didn't finish the registration. So that's a learning process. But folks, once you get them listed, you know where they go? Right straight into your CRM.
Yes. That's slick, huh?
You got, and
That's
you have
awesome.
immediate follow-up on the spot. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's better than it's ever been.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to, it's number one is obviously scheduling the appointment with the seller. But number two is for that seller, once you get that seller, the number one marketing goal, number one is driving traffic to the websites, the syndicated websites, the Zillows, the Redfins, the Trulias, all the platforms. I track and measure the views and saves on Zillow as my tracking measure stick there, but driving most eyes to those platforms first. Then Kathy Ryan style, driving them to the home, making them form a line, and let those buyers see all the other buyers. That's the magic, is getting everybody in the shortest window. The reason why I'm bringing this up we had a listing in Yucaipa, small buyer pool, a lot smaller than San Diego. So in San Diego, we do our open houses 12 to 4 on Saturday, 12 to 3 on Sunday. Those are our by appointment only showing windows because we have a large buyer pool. But if your buyer pool is smaller and you're tracking the numbers, you're tracking the views, tracking the saves, shrink that window of opportunity to a Saturday 12 to 3, remove Sunday. Shrink them, make sure they get into that home all at the same time to really use the magic of everybody seeing each other, because when buyers start competing, that's when the process really works the best. So track and measure your success on Zillow first, because remember, if you do it properly, there's no showings that whole first week before the by appointment only showings on the weekend, Saturday and or Sunday. You'll be able to track to know that, hey, listen, we're not getting the kind of audience we thought we would get. Remove the Sunday, shrink the Saturday, but you want to get them into the same place at the same time if at all possible. Right, Kathy?
Yep, you do. I mean, it creates FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Yep.
And that sparks a lot of interest in those buyers, and they'll start making offers and compete for them.
Absolutely. I'm gonna share my screen real quick again, Kathy, because let's see if I can do that. Let's see. Let's go to share. That screen that I was sharing of the property in Santee where I had all those 21 offers. This right here, for full disclosure, this seller thought the home
We're
was.
not seeing your screen.
Yeah, you're not seeing it because I'm not seeing this share on the bottom. It's like I can't share for some reason. So there it is. It came back. I had the chat box open. Sorry, Kathy helping me out again. Look at that. Okay, so what I want to do is, for full disclosure, is let you know how this worked also. This starting price was 688.5. The seller's goal price was 810. I thought it was worth like 775. 810 and 775 were really close. So I'm okay with close like that, as long as you set the seller's expectation. This one, we got the net offer to 755, then ultimately 761. But this buyer removed their 3% compensation and removed a credit they asked for in closing cost and gave us a net final gross offer of 784 and some change. Because of the transparency, that's why they removed their compensation. Apparently, they're going to pay them outside of escrow, which is fine, but it's the net that they take in their pocket is the number one goal. So this one, because of its transparency, the seller said, yes, I'm comfortable taking this. I always wanted to make sure I pointed that out.
Awesome.
Transparency is absolutely huge. And another thing it did, the transparency, because the offer came in higher than what the net was, because it came in like 761.5, I believe, was the final net to the seller. They didn't have to go and feel obligated to do a seller counter because the system did it for the seller, so they don't have to haggle. Most sellers don't like to renegotiate, negotiate, and haggle. And if they feel like they need to submit a counter, because that makes sense, right? The system does that for you. So this is the offer. This is the highest and best that's going to get. Let's get it accepted. Are you okay? And they were stoked because realistically they thought it was worth less than that, but they were trying, like most sellers, always try for a number that's not realistic. So just wanted to share that because that's important. What else, guys? We're getting close to the end of our time together. Any questions, concerns, comments? Kathy, Norm, anything to add to our call? I know we've kind of talked about all kinds of things. What else we got?
I wanted to bring up, in doing my prospecting this morning, I was doing the pre-foreclosures. So I was pulling up my list out of Lead Deck, and Lead Deck gives you equity, if it's a high equity, low equity, and all of that. Out of 300, about 50% of them, the equity was under 10%. What does that mean, guys?
I can tell you. People are zapping their equity.
Yeah.
Or they haven't owned them very long.
Well, that too, a lot of them purchased in 2022. So, but the thing is they're in foreclosure. So that means that they're a short sale. So, which leads into next Wednesday, the short sale comeback is what we'll be going over for More Deals Mastermind. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to put the link in the chat
Oh yeah, that's going to
to
be a good one too.
register.
If anyone on this call has ever done a short sale before, there's nothing short about it. So it's certainly a learning curve, but I tell you what, it's just another opportunity for you. If you can stomach working with short sales, the platform, Kathy, and you'll agree with me, because of the transparency on the platform, short sales it works beautifully for, because we can
Right.
show, actually document, backup data with transparent offers showing that bank who's taking it a short payoff, showing that we did everything we could to get them the absolute highest and best price, fully transparent. Here you go. Makes that decision a lot easier.
Yeah, and back in the day when I was doing them, actually I started doing short sales. I got my first short sale in 2006. So we didn't have this platform and we had to fight BPOs because agents would go in there with this mentality of doing BPOs and put in the highest price, thinking that they would get the listing when it foreclosed.
Yeah.
That strategy, guys, it isn't the way it works. But what it did was create problems for a distressed seller because we had to go in and prove and fight, and then it took a lot longer to get the short sales done. I'm praying because I haven't done a short sale since 2016, 2017. I'm praying that the banks will remember and not give us grief like they did before.
Oh, guess
And that
what?
they'll work better with this with the short sale.
And that's why the platform is so important, because you have backup data. Not only does it work for loss mitigation folks, but it works for divorce attorneys, because you got Mr. and Mrs. in most cases getting divorced, and they're usually not on the same page. When you offer them a way to have transparency, then everybody's in the know. There's no funny business. You can see it all right in front of you. So it works great for attorneys offering your services to their clients for divorce, probate when there's heirs. There's a lot of moving parts why this thing works well. So thank you, Kathy, for
Yeah.
that. Norm, what would you like to add before we jump off the call today, my friend?
Well, I want to go back to where Kathy's been before, and it all comes down to, and I think you've said it a couple of times, just do it. I,
Yeah.
you've got to you got to move your assets, your own assets, and you've got to
Right.
just do it, and quit thinking about it. Don't analyze it. Get on the phone and
Mhm.
have a conversation. And always remember that the easiest thing to get rid of in a sales situation is a person on the phone. The hardest thing to get rid of is a body. And that means you got to get in front of them. And if it's through a
Yeah.
Zoom meeting, or if you are just can't do it and you got to do it person to person, I didn't do it. Just go out
Mhm.
and do it. But I will tell you, from doing this for years with Robert and Kathy, doing it on Zoom makes such a big difference, and it really boosts the number of people that you can help.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amen.
absolutely. And let me add a really quick story. So in 2008, when the market crashed, I was in an office at Coldwell Banker, and there were 150 agents in that office. There were only about 3 or 4 of us that showed up every day. I made the top 10 list with BPO money. I
Wow.
can't tell you how many months I made the top
Just
10 list with
BPO.
BPO money. They checked out. They didn't, and they were afraid of short sales. They didn't want the hassle. They didn't want to work on it. Um, I was the go-to person in my office for short sales. So learn it
Yeah.
and learn how to do it. They're not that hard. They are time consuming, but it's well worth it. And the satisfaction of having your short sale seller come back to you and say, we're ready to buy, is the greatest feeling in the world, because
Oh,
you helped them out of a bad situation. And instead of foreclosing, I'm giving it away, but if they foreclose, they got to wait 7 years. If they short sell, they got to wait 3 years. So to purchase again. And yeah, it's well worth it. And it's a process. And once you learn that process, and it becomes what do I want to say? Um, uh, on
Second
job.
nature.
Yeah, well, it becomes an assembly line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah,
You
you
know?
definitely got to do that. I think you start doing it by second nature. It takes time. Just like anything, guys, like talking to FISBOs. It's not something you just wake up and are born with. You need to have a conversation with yourself, have role play, look, use the scripts, find out what your real messaging is, and go make it happen. Short sales are just another lead funnel, opportunity funnel. When you're reaching out to pre-foreclosures, Kathy and I, and Norm, we come in from contribution. We're coming from compassion. We want to help you keep your home because everyone that I've ever talked to that's in default wants to keep their home. If you come in hot, just wanting to list their home, you're done. But if you come with, I want to help you keep it too. Let's give you some guidance. And that guidance is call your bank and find out what your options are. If your options are not existent, then let's protect your equity if you have any. If anything else, protect your credit as best we can and head forward, get your life on track and get that call a couple years later from that seller that said, hey, remember during that difficult time, we're ready to buy again. Boom.
Yeah.
Kathy, it's awesome. I love that. And we're going to talk about that next week on the More Deals Mastermind, our podcast version on Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to put in a link too. If you have any questions about FSBO expireds, how the 14-day home offers works, Kathy put her information in for short sales and cash offers. If you need help with FSBO's expireds and using the 14-day home offer process to take more listings, I encourage you to reach out. I want to be a help for you. Norm, I think you want to have any information on your upcoming class? You'll have that available soon?
Yeah, we'll have that available next week.
Got it. Excellent. Anything else, guys, before we jump off this call? This has been fantastic. I love it. Anything else we can?
So, yeah, next week in the short sales, we're not just going to be talking about how to get them. I'm actually going to walk you through the process
Yep.
of a short sale.
We'll talk you how to get them first, and then we're going to talk to you how once you get them now what to do next.
Right.
Because what we don't want to do is this. We are in this business to help as many buyers, sellers, investors as agents we can. If we have a system where we can help out to a very large market that's about to approach, and you know how to work that market before anyone else does, you're going to thank yourself big time for doing that. So, Kathy, I really appreciate, and I can't wait to see how we take more listings with pre-foreclosures, help those short sale buyers, but the process behind it's not for everyone, guys. And I know, Kathy, you have a coaching program that you mentor agents that maybe are just learning that space, and you
Right.
have a part of Partner Plus, and you're helping agents guide them through that. That's where Partner Plus first originated, is during the short sale market, because so many agents had no clue. They're like, what do you mean it's going to take 6 months to close this? What do you mean I need to send the package in for the 100th time? What do you mean all these things are going on to stop my sale? So Kathy's a breath of fresh air when it comes to that space. Thank you, Kathy, for that.
You're welcome.
Hey, Linda, it's the link to next week's deal is in the chat.
Oh, good.
There it is again.
All right. That's the Eventbrite, or that's the so you can sign up. Let us know if you want to jump on. It's great, and we'd be happy to be a resource. So, Kathy, let's close it up. I don't see any other questions. Let's close it up with the some special remarks in closing for our guest today.
Norm?
Oh, I was going to say, I've heard a lot of folks talk about scripts and everything. And the way that I've taught scripts for over 40 years is you take the script, you write it out, you get the script, you learn it word by word, verbatim. Once you learn it word by word, verbatim, you get an accountability partner, or what we've always called a twinning and drilling partner, someone that you're going to do role play with, and you set up times to do as much role play as you possibly can, reciting that script word for word.
Mhm.
Once you know it by heart, you then make it your own, and you build it because it needs to be you. So learn it word for word and then turn it into your own words.
Amen.
And if you don't have an accountability partner, which we all should have one, is you can use ChatGPT.
Yeah, but I like live interaction. Pick somebody on this
Well,
call.
I do too, but
Somebody that's playing in the same sandbox is what I would suggest. Chat's a great assistant for that, but get on and move around too. Get different partners, because some people are going to be pushovers. Trust me, you want to role play? Let's role play. I'll role play with you all day long. I think it's fantastic because the more you internalize it, the more it becomes natural. It's not like, hi, my name. No, it's just a conversation we're having. Keep it
Right.
short, keep it sweet. Remember,
And
sellers
you
don't.
want to you want to get somebody that's going to be hard on you. You
Yeah.
don't want to
Exactly.
push over. You want to have to work for it.
Yep. Amen. Well, that was a
Well, chat will be hard on you. You just tell it to be hard on you.
that is the
And she
in-house.
will, or he will, however you set it up.
I love
I'm
it.
just
Either way.
saying it's an alternative.
Yeah.
And, you can always get people together, but it's an alternative.
Yeah.
Like one-on-one is better, but you always
Have-
have an AI option.
Bottom line, guys, it works if you do. So just do it like Nike coined that phrase. And you know what? I'll tell you what, we'll see you in escrow.